Hi, welcome to Miss Karen's Kitchen, or those with food allergies. Today I'm going to be making a healthy version of a Napoleon called what my mom would call a Tuna Napoleon. Now you start out by toasting your bread. And then we're going to mix up, and while it's doing that, we're going to be mixing up the tuna. Now the tuna consists of dry fruit, drained tuna, smart beet, a tablespoon of smart beet mayonnaise, which has less calories and is lactose free, than the regular, and a tablespoon of sandwich spread. Now we're going to add the tuna. I always like to leave some of the big chunks because, I like chunks. I don't like it all mushed together. And you do want to mix it, and then you mix it with the dried fruit before you mix it with the mayonnaise and the spread. Just mix it like that. Now we're going to add the sandwich spread. And I always like to get as much of it as possible. Mainly because I do. And again with the smart beet. And this has 10 calories. And my mom actually discovered this after my dad's heart attack. And so those of you either who are lactose intolerant or with a restricted diet, this is really, really good. And as I said, and it's also got smart beet butter and cheese. So for those of us who are lactose intolerant can have. And maybe even for people with glucose can also have some. Now we mix them together. And being careful not to do overly mix, but just mixing enough to have it together and smoosh it. And after it toasts, I would also recommend when you toast your bread to make sure that you leave 1 minute. Why? Because it's going to be hot, and also the burners get a chance to cool out. Now we're going to mix this up here. Now we're going to put them on both sides. sides carefully, smooshing them. And there are nuts, and it's good because it will eat up your LDL and help with your HDL. So eat your nuts, those of you who can, and those of you who can't, I feel sorry for you. Now, when you put together, and you want to do it on both sides, and the main reason why, that's too big, is that it's not Napoleon, and I should do that. Of course, some people would call it something else. My mom calls it a Napoleon, and I'm not going to argue with her. And you just put it together. It's a really good way to get your kids to eat healthy and you to eat healthy. I know it's canned mainly because there are more people. My mom found out just recently that there are more people who have fish allergies than even peanut allergies. So the next time you wonder, oh, well, that's canned, there are more people with, just think, there are more people with fish allergies than with peanut allergies. So now, we're going to close it up. And isn't that pretty? And now, for the infamous taste test. It is quite delicious. The fruit and the nuts, with raisins, make it flavorful. There's so much thin, of course. It's healthy and textured. And it is very, very, very flavorful. And the mayonnaise and the sandwich spread just makes it just tangy with the richness, and you don't even need salt. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Miss Karen's Kitchen. And remember, those of us who can't eat fish and who are lactose intolerant, do improvise and eat other meats.